There goes Kvone here. I just wanted to recap on 3 games of Hearthstone I had tonight. Just I thought maybe I can do like a highlights-y kind of thing. So this first game is in Tavern Brawl, the 4th Tavern Brawl. Now you may notice that my hand is full with nothing but spells. There's a simple reason for this. In the 4th Tavern Brawl, every time you cast a spell, you summon a minion of the same cost as the spell. So having loads of spells is really advantageous. Now the reason why I picked out this match out of any of them is because it just gets absolutely crazy halfway through and towards the end, and this is a real fight to win this game. You'll see exactly what happens at the end. So we'll try to do blows first couple of turns. I've got a really good minion out there. He's silenced it. He's played loads of wisps. Thought still he's stolen some of my spells. So yeah, yeah, obvious. Clear the board that way with a pretty good 2-cost minion. Do excuse my yawning, it's actually quite late here. I'm recording this when I'm half asleep, so I do apologise for that. That was extremely lucky. That took out his entire minion, so that rarely happens. Most of the time one of them actually hits the champion itself, not just the minion. But I guess it's karma for the amount of times that happens to me when I'm against a mage. So we've actually now got a Windfury out with 2 attack, and if we can keep this up on the wall, we could even get a 3 attack soonish. So he's just played a burn card. His second totem of the game as a priest, which I find hilarious. He would want to keep that, but it's not staying. I want to allow something like that to stay. I play the Mana Worm. I want to play something else, but there's excuse me. There's nothing worth wasting at this point, given that we're in 1 attack anyway. So obviously at the moment I'm winning this because I've got poor control. Now this is when it starts getting crazy. He plays a legendary and he plays Lerthip, which actually wasn't that big a problem in the game itself, because I wasn't technically going to play a spell then, but it would be nice to polymorph Lerthip, because it ends up delaying my Archmage, because I need the board sort of clear before playing Archmage, so he's on the field for longer. Oh, that gets crazy. He played a 2-cost spell and got a 2-cost legendary with it. 4 for 4. It's not the strongest thing, but a 2-cost, I mean, that's really ridiculous. So I decided to sheep, nuking with spells, and just generally pull out a strong board whilst destroying more and more of his minions. So I think not that much of it, just, and you know, he randomly got a legendary out of that. I had 2 on the board at the time. Something, well, you can't get more. And then he throws a double taunt at me, gets rid of one of them. Which is good, because that means I can actually attack him with something. But I destroy his minions instead. I've got Archmage. Yeah, I've got Archmage. I never get to use him, unfortunately. Polymorphed immediately by the Polymorph Priest stole from my deck, which is a shame. And yeah, it says it all. I mean, Nat Pagel got summoned through yet another kind of spell. I was miffed at this point. It's like I was starting to lose a very easy game. So I played Flame Striker. I got the worst 7 cost minion I could think of. Can't even use those effects because it's not from the hand. So therefore it's not a battle cry. Holy Nova me. Still got my big hero alive. Don't have my big hero alive anymore. He summons Leroy Jenkins. That's another legendary. That's crazy. So we've regained ball control again. He's only got 2 cards in hand. Look, we've only got 1. Could do with something that can freeze, so we can use Ice Lance properly or something. He plays Emperor Thracian and Shadow Boxer. You have to wonder why he played Emperor Thracian. He's got nothing in his hand. Now, this is when it gets a bit ridiculous. I summon Flame Leviathan. Now, it's bad enough when one person summons a legendary through that effect, but when the other player summons, I think it's the 3rd or 4th spell legendary of the game. It's pretty ridiculous. And it gets even better. When I play Dragon Breath and I actually summon another legendary from it. Not a great legendary, but it's still one. Still something really powerful for pretty cheap. And we win the game as a result. I mean, we kept ball control, and that was a key thing there. Right, so I know my last commentary of my last game sounded very half asleep. It was. This is the morning after, so I'm woken up, sort of. So we're getting into the next game, and I'm playing Murlocs because that's basically my main deck for getting out of rank 20, which is what we were doing here. And we're against a warrior. Now, this game gets pretty crazy at the end. It's not a long match. It's pretty crazy at the end. And he plays a card which lost him, well, I wouldn't say lost him the game entirely, but he played a card which was really, really bad at that situation. So I play my Murloc to boost up when I summon other Murlocs. He plays his Mad Bomber. At the moment I want to play the Murloc War Leader, but I decided against it. I mean, it would have been a good face hit, but I decided against it, and I basically want to mortal coil him. So that's why I played it that way. In hindsight, War Leader would have been better, I reckon, and just go for face damage, given the deck I'm using, but his bomber would have taken out the War Leader. Let's get Murloc Oracle, Murloc War Leader, decent amount of attack. It's always good when you're able to play both of those in the same turn and just completely surprise them with the amount of face damage you can do. The next one is to buff all my Murlocs up with 2 health. Not entirely sure what deck he's playing, because that's not a really strong card. I mean, he's had weak cards this turn, so we've gained 1 attack with everything using that minion, which I can never remember the name of. And we've got 2 of the 1 spell cards. Again, I can't remember the name. Power Overwhelming. They're awesome. They give you 4/4/4. Now that was the worst move he could have ever made. Then he gave me Gorehound. Gorehound. Wow, that's basically a weapon with 7 attack, and the ability is when you attack, take 1 attack off it rather than 1 durability. So it's really, really ridiculous. And then he attacks into my War Leader as well, and then that just makes it worse. I draw Makai. He's one of my 1-cost spells, and I hit him with Gorehound just to rub in. Never play Blingtron. Blingtron is a bad card, especially at that time in the game. Right, now we're going to go on to the last game, which was a casual game I played as Warrior, just as a fun way to end the stream. And this goes pretty badly until 2 turns from the end, which I completely turn it around. So yeah, this is a video. Well, this is a highlight to showing how good Patreon can be if you get the right setup for it. I mean, he had a very, very strong start, and it looked like he was going to win for ages. Like, I could get Patreon out onto the board and controlling the game because it was just being destroyed. But then I had the right amount of mana and the right combination and the right stuff on the board at the time. To be honest, he made a bad decision which surprised me. So, the first turn I had nothing to play. I've only got 2 3-cost stuff and 5-cost stuff. I wasn't going to coin there as well. I will coin here to get the I think it's the Acolyte on. When he gets damaged, I draw a card. So if he decides to take that out as 2 cards, that's actually really decent. Ooh. Fleshbringer Gore is not something I want to see. So, actually, see, that's a big threat. So I have to take that out. I don't want to use my 0-cost spell because I want to save that for Grim Patreon when I play it. Straight away pinging. So I play a 2 for 2 attacker, deal the ping damage, and then execute. Now this is where my game started really going downhill. He plays a Pit Lord, and count the amount of turns it takes me to get rid of it. It's a long one. I don't exactly know why I expected him not to attack into that. I sort of was hoping he would. That's why it's got 4. But that's a poor play. That was a bad play. I should have played something else. But still, it's got him to low health. Of course, I didn't know he had a healer in his hand. So then he plays Taunt to make things worse. So at the moment I've got a lot of options, but I decided to use Gurubashi Berserker because I didn't want to waste my Grim Patron just yet. I needed some setup for it. It wouldn't have survived if I played it then. Mad Bomber wouldn't have done anything. But Gurubashi Berserker might be able to turn the game if it gets ramped up. But I'm losing health fast, so just the card I need, execute. So I can take out one of those two. I decide I'm going to use Mad Bomber. I think it's Mad Bomber, to try and damage one of those two. Well, probably to try and damage the 7 for 7. It takes me a while to play this thing, because it takes me a while to think about it. So I played that, so I might get, like, if that guy were to ping my Gurubashi, which unfortunately it didn't, that would have been really strong, because then I would ping it again. But it didn't, so I have to use the spell that I saved for Grim Patron. So yeah. He's now it's now a strong Gurubashi Berserker, but can be destroyed quite easily. It's only got 3, and it does because he plays War Leader. I think that's called War Leader. I keep getting names wrong. Now this is a bit of an inspired turn. I needed draws. I needed better cards in my hand. So I played one of my 2 commanding shouts. I probably attacked into that too early. But yeah, so basically all of my stuff is alive this turn that attacks. So I play that. I get 3 because my champion well, my hero counts. Got 3 left. I want to play the Warsong Commander, preparation for my next turn, but I have to play a Whirlwind to take that out. I have to take out the Pit Lord. He attacks into me. Dread Infernal. At this point I thought, really? I'm just taking out a big minion, now he's played another one. But it's okay, I mean, I play Warsong Commander here. Probably, and that was a really big misplay. I don't have enough to ping Grim Patron, but I've got a second one in my hand, so I still attack. I'm going to cut it off because he might see the threat as being Grim Patron at this point and may attack into that rather than the Warsong Commander. Molten Giant, no problem for me. What surprised me is he's attacked face, and that will probably lose him the game. Although, this is the turn where the game changes. I basically win the game from this turn. None of my minions can be destroyed. I pinged them all for 1. Of course, I've got Grim Patrons, I've got War Song, I can charge with them. And I basically start on my job of clearing the board at this point. Now, I have to focus on keeping at least one of my Grim Patrons with more than 1 health so it can multiply. So I get in a good load of attack there. And my board is completely full with Grim Patrons and War Song Commander now. So, in that one turn he had 2 big hitters. He was 1 turn from winning. And I completely changed that by playing that many Grim Patrons. Takes out my War Song Commander. Too late. I've got this next turn. With weapon. And then I decide to just bad mana. I play the weapon, play Faceless Manipulator to copy a Grim Patron who can also attack. So I'd use my weapons, yeah, game. And 3 of my Grim Patrons didn't even attack. So yeah, we won that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. And catch me on Friday nights, because that's when I do these streams. I'll put my Twitch in the description.